you see the role of spiritual warfare with apologetics?
Well, spiritual warfare is about truth rather than power encounters. It's not about rebuking demons, okay?
Right.
It's about the truth. And if you go to 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 5, Paul says we take every thought captive to Christ and we demolish arguments. Our job is to use prayer, the word of God, good reason, in order to try and pull people out of darkness and into the light. And so I think that's what spiritual warfare is more about. Not about, can we do an exorcist or that? That may happen, don't get me wrong.
That's what I was referring
yeah,
to.
that's not the essence of spiritual warfare. The essence of spiritual warfare is over the mind. Renew your mind, says Paul. Renew your mind. That's what we need to do because our minds are polluted. Our minds are polluted by the culture. And so we have to renew our minds to think properly. Has anyone in here seen the movie Nefarious?
Yes.
Okay. Nefarious was a very interesting movie. Steve Dace wrote that novel a number of years ago, and some guys happened to pick it up, and they happened to be movie producers, and they said, hey, we're going to make this a movie. Well, my friend Jack Hibbs, who's a pastor out in California, actually experienced that same kind of demonic possession in somebody that he knew 30 years ago. And when he saw the movie, he went, how did you know that this is how this demon manifested himself? Just like this guy in the movie. So yeah, that stuff does happen quite obviously. But we have to be concerned with the truth and getting the truth to as many people as possible.
Right. So in light of that, here's my part two.
Uh-huh.
What has your personal experience been with spiritual warfare when speaking to someone who's very, attacking you? And have you reached a point where you just, wipe the dust off your feet?
There's been a couple of times in my life where I got really close to a very famous person, and I was witnessing to this famous person, and I felt oppressed, very oppressed. That night, I'd never felt that way before. And it was like you're getting too close to one of mine, said Satan, right? Mm-hmm. So you just pray, as Peter says, rebuke the devil and he will flee from you, or something like that. So you pray that. I haven't felt that very often, but
you have.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for
All
sharing
right, thank
that.
you, Deborah. Appreciate it.
I think this is a topic that I think a lot of people are fascinated by and are very interested in, like myself. And I think the thing we have to remember is that in spiritual warfare, it's vital to know that the devil's power is limited and he can only do what God permits. And getting rid of the devil isn't up to us, it's God's work. Considering the devil's experience and the fact that he's been on this earth for thousands of years, when we're facing spiritual challenges, we just have to turn to the Bible. And apologetics isn't just about an idea, it's a battle where reason and faith overcome unforeseen forces. And we have to remember, especially in where it says in Ephesians, in chapter 6, verse 11 and 12, it says that we have to put on the full armor of God so that we can take our stand against the devil and his schemes. And I think this is important, especially in today's age, because we have to put on that full armor of God. We have to use our knowledge that we have gained through the Bible and use that to fight the devil. And the benefit is that God's on our side. And you have to remember, God created the devil, so there's no instance where the devil is going to defeat God. And we just have to remember that.